Good morning, welcome to this morning's Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 10th of May. So starting off looking at the news out today, all we've got today is the Australian retail sales, which is already out. So there's nothing else. The rest of the data is pretty low impact data. So that's it. So and the retail sales in Australia was 0.1 down. So that's what we're left with. So we're left with what was the overflow from Friday. Non-farms missed the target by quite some way. On further analysis, it looks like they didn't actually miss the target so much as it just the seasonal adjustments didn't come into play as much, or came into play probably the wrong way and wiped out a lot of those gains. So bit of a mixed old bag there on Friday, and well, at the moment the dollar's getting taking a hit. Well, it certainly did on Friday. It's eased up a bit this morning so far against the euro, but other currencies are doing pretty well. So let's have a look at future movements here on the euro. Well, the euro is just running into prior resistance technically here around those prior highs there, so it's back into that area at the moment. A break of that, well, then we're sort of looking at the sort of next step up. There's the monthly R1 above us, and well, potentially really just a continuation of this bigger wave that's already started on the daily. So we've seen a retracement, and a lot of traders will be sort of measuring this sort of first large wave up here and applying it and looking probably for somewhere around that 29.39 and 23.97 area, even maybe even more. But in the short term, well, let's just have a look here. Bit of a key reversal, bearish key reversal bar there through the Asian session, but very light volumes. Looking, we've got daily and weekly pivots sitting below. If it was to start rolling over, maybe they'll become targets, and there is potential yet that the Fed have done their best to keep the very soft tones out there. So they like this idea of this weaker US dollar, and they don't want the markets thinking they're going to increase interest rates, and well, that's pretty much the situation at the moment. I was just looking at the bond market or treasury market, seeing what's happened there. That's pushing back up again. That was right the way down to 155 at one stage. It's now up to plus 160. So don't think the markets are completely fooled, but we'll see. Anyway, for now the euro pushing up there. I mean, I would need a sort of looking to buy this. Probably at this stage would need some sort of retrace to get in. There might be opportunities post 8 o'clock to jump aboard, but at the moment nothing immediately there that's catch my eye. The pound dollar, the pound again pushed out pretty well on Friday, but not to the sort of the same extent as euro there, but it's pushed through this morning, continued its the upside, and well, looking quite solid across the markets here at the moment. Putting bigger and bigger bars in there is just suggesting more volatility and a bit more of a shove, more momentum coming through into the market. However, it's sort of pre 8 o'clock. That may just slow down a little bit. It's not even, there would have been some divergence running across the highs here. It's obviously worked its way through, but again, it's a difficult one to jump aboard on, because it's even though it's a nice bullish move, you just need a retracement to sort of look to buy into some of these markets. Dollar yen. Yen's given back some of its gains. It's the US dollar here pushing up against the yen. Good job too, as I said, for my short, but it's slow. There is this sort of new resistance level above, which may provide a bit more of a significant resistance point. We'll see, but I'm still hanging into my longer term long on this pairing. Higher lows confirmed through here. Again, there's nothing in the short term here that really sort of, well, maybe a break of this sort of 109, the higher this candle, if it starts pushing up for the rest of the morning. I do wonder at that time whether it'll just slow up. It's got the possibility. Aussie dollar retail sales missed slightly overnight then, but well, it's not really done too much either way. A bit more like the euro at the moment, just quite slow. where we are here, but it's sort of on the bigger time frames it sort of looks a bit clearer, but it's just been in such a chop. The Aussie dollar makes it very difficult to really work out a trade, and again I would be looking for retracements on this market. If you look at the short time here coming down to the 60-minute, it's just doing a range. It might be that it could be buying from the bottom of that range, or just waiting to see if it gets back towards its daily or indeed weekly pivots. Okay, and finally Canadian dollar. Just looking at the Canadian dollar, I was just coming back and looking at it from a monthly point of view, still selling off quite nicely. My secondary target on my short, which I took last week, is coming up at about 120, and then we'll take a quarter out there and a quarter towards the final quarter towards that 200 is the plan. Just moving down at the moment. It's that's why I like the way to see it. Might see some retracements again. It's got dailies and weekly pivots above. If the markets would turn around, or a lot of these, I think with the strength of the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar, it's doing better. It might not pull back quite so much as, say, for example, the euro may do, but we'll see. Okay, New Zealand dollar, just a quick look at that, where we are with that. So New Zealand dollar a bit softer than the Aussie dollar this morning, but same sort of picture here, pushing up again. And with this, it's a much clearer movement. It looks more similar again, as I said, to the euro really, and we could see that sort of push up. We've had the first wave retracement. We could see the next wave pushing up further. Right, on the bigger picture, that is. Looking at elsewhere, looking at the equity markets, S&Ps futures here. No surprise, on Friday we made yet another high, and we're making a new high again on the. I mean, it's every other day, or every few days we see a new high. It's pushed up, it's pulling back a little at the moment, just having a bit of a retracement. Again, we've got daily pivots and weekly pivots to target to the downside if we was to see a bit more of a correction. Seeing that Treasury, the yields going up there, does make me question whether we'll see a bit more correction, a bit more dollar strength potentially, and a bit more of a wobble on this market. But in the bigger picture, retracements are generally there to be bought, it seems. Gold should be doing better, but yeah, it's doing all right. There we go. It should be doing better with this weaker dollar, and there it is. It's continuing its route upwards as well. So it's just this uncertainty around the dollar. It's coming down, and sort of looking at it more on the shorter time frame. Well, it's sort of all its gains were done there really on Friday. It has had a little bit of correction this morning, but daily pivot sits below weekly pivot again, similar to the currencies that on this move here. Oil, this runs for oil. Big picture here on oil. It's a bit of a shove this morning. We've seen pipelines being taken over effectively, or hijacked on the internet. Pirates there pushing up a little at the moment, mate. I mean, I've been very bearish on oil for some time and not been able to get back into a trade, but it looks like, well, you almost got to say, well, the upside's got the potential here, back up to those prior highs. It's looking quite good. Maybe a trade later this morning, early afternoon, could give the opportunity for a break up to those prior highs at the moment. There we go. And finally, a quick look at Bitcoin. It had a bit of a recovery over the weekend, I noticed. So had a bit of a recovery, he says. I just realised I'm on an hourly chart on my other chart. Let's just get that back to a daily. Yep, there we go. So yep, there we go. Seeing it through here this morning. It's a little gap there, but the obviously cash market just continuing pushing back up there. As I said, I wouldn't be a massive surprise if we see more consolidation around here, but if the dollar really does weaken, well, it does give a better opportunity for Bitcoin to push up even further. Other cryptos this morning, Ethereum pushing up to new highs yet again. I would share this with you YouTubers, but I can't flick across different software, so Just looking at Ethereum at the moment at 41.30, and Raspberry Ripple even pushing up this morning, not to the same extent, but Ethereum has absolutely flown in the last month or so. So it's just continuing its path. It is the favourite at the moment. So on that note, I'm going to leave you with a favourite, and I'm going to wish you a great day, and I'll be back in the morning. Bye for now. Morning, Jane, Hodgie, Ben, Stanley.